Hi, welcome to Wednesday. A lot of letters, so let's get started. This is from Jean in Texas. We moved from Iowa to Texas years ago. The home we moved into has had spirits from day one. Our dog even watches them. I am not frightened of them, just curious as to who they are and what I can do to get our home free of spirits. We have had an all-house fan turned on, a big heavy pot and pan drawer open while my husband, son, and I were all in the kitchen. We have had lights turned on and off without anyone there. Many things have happened. We had a house fire a year ago in January, and I think enough is enough. Is there something that we can do? Everything that you have said, an earthbound spirit can absolutely do. And your animals or your dog seeing them, that's not unusual. Animals are really good. I hate to say it because people are sick and tired of hearing me say this, but the only thing that you can do when I'm here and you're there is smudge. You have got to smudge and do it properly. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and it's not going to work. You know, I'm not going to say that they had anything to do with the fire because they can't light a match and throw it into, a couch or something like that. However, they can be around the fuse boxes or around plugs, and sometimes with their energy will make them hotter where a fire will start. But again, they did not throw a match and set the house on fire. So that would be my best guess to you. I mean, you've been living there for, a number of years already with them like this. And I would absolutely start smudging or, again, have the house blessed by an ordained priest or minister. That will make a difference also. Doesn't last, but at least you will see a little bit of a difference. I contacted you a little over a year ago, and we opened all the windows and burned sage in our house. I have hung sage in the doorways. We have always found comfort with the old woman that has moved and been with us for years. The dog will run around the house once in a while, and these little things dance around in the hallway at night. However, things have turned upside down in the last month. Things flying off shelves and landing across the room during the day when we were standing there. My husband saw someone enter our bedroom this morning. The chairs on the second floor have been moving by themselves, pounding on the second floor at night. Someone saying our name just loud enough to wake us up at night. Candles being blown out, belongings being moved, not misplaced, hot and cold spots in a room. The old woman that is here, we are not the only ones that see her. My daughter has had friends over and they will freak out because they have seen her in an apron, and blink, she is gone. Okay, this is Barbara from Pennsylvania. Here's another one. Everything that you have written in here, a spirit can absolutely do. What I'm thinking has happened is that if you think that this lady with the apron has moved with you from a previous house, maybe she's pretty generic and she just shows up and she sees what's going on. She may not be a mover or touch things. She still is an energy drain, however, but she seems like she's pretty generic. Sounds to me like another one has come into the house. You did not say how old your children are, but if your kids are, teenagers, a lot of times, and you said you had a daughter, a lot of times it could be a teenage boy that's been earthbound that comes in, and he's trying to show off for your daughter. And, keep in mind that when a person dies and they don't cross over, they have identically the same personality, likes and dislikes that they had when they were alive. If this kid was ornery, if that's who it is, and he was ornery when he is alive or a smart aleck, he could be doing all of this stuff. I'm going to give you the same information I gave Jean. Smudge, have the house blessed by an ordained priest or minister, and you are saging, smudging wrong. Windows have to be closed for 2 hours after you're done. No windows open till you're done. And I'm not going to say it does or it doesn't because I really don't know, but hanging sage up over a doorway, it's the smoke that does it, not the sage itself. It's the smoke from the sage that makes them lethargic and laid back. So I think you're better off lighting the sage than hanging it over your door. Okay, this one is from Julie from Australia. My name is Julie. I'm a primary school teacher in a Christian school in Australia. I understand that you will not be able to come to the school, but I was wondering if you might be able to figure out what's going on with the energy in my classroom. I teach year 2 children who are 7 and 8. During the last 2 years since I moved into a new room, actually, I've noticed that things seem to go missing in our room. But when it started happening, and I didn't blame it on, I just thought maybe I was stressed out and I didn't know where I was putting things. But when it started happening to the children as well, I was intrigued. The other day, a 1-cent coin appeared on the floor. This was unusual since they haven't been in circulation for about 18 years. None of the children had brought olden day money, as they call it, in for show and tell. After reading When Ghosts Speak, I wondered if we did have some earthbound spirits playing a few games in the classroom. I am very open to this, but the school's philosophy isn't. It's not something I can discuss with the children, unfortunately, but I'm just curious to see if you can tell me what could be going on. Okay, you got a couple things here. First of all, kids love kids, whether they're alive or dead. You can't even imagine how many primary, secondary, high school, and colleges that I have done where the place is just loaded with kids approximately the same age as the kids where they're haunting them. Now, kids like to play tricks on one another. And so the kids in this classroom very well could be playing tricks or, with your students. That's a possibility. And how much fun would it be for a 7 or 8-year-old to take something off the teacher's desk and hide it? They would think that would be great fun. And adult earthbound spirits do not hang out together. I mean, you could have 2 or 3 of them in the house and not sitting around the table playing pinochle at night. But earthbound spirits of kids do hang out together. And they're going to be around your students. I don't know if you could get away with at least smudging your room. Try to do it on a Saturday when school is closed. And that way, when you're done, it'll air out before school starts on Monday. Get creative. Try to figure out when to smudge it. And if you do it on a regular basis, at least you will keep the children out of your classroom. Thanks, Julie. Okay. This one is from Joe. And he's writing this from Sri Lanka. Dear Mary, I have read your book When Ghosts Speak, and I'm fascinated by it. Although I am a Sri Lankan, born and also a Buddhist, I have strong belief that all people have souls and spirits, rather against the Buddhist beliefs. Buddhist understanding is that after the death, The gnana is released from the body, somewhat similar to the soul, and immediately enters a womb to be born in another body. My mother passed away 2 years ago, but I have a suspicion that she may not have traveled through the light. I really like to know if she is sad and stuck, if she may have missed the light, or if you can, and if so, can you or I send her through the light? She hasn't come in my dreams as yet, although my father and my cousins visit me whenever I request them. I have tried a method of creating a light and inviting her to go, but I feel she may not have gone. Well, Joe, you're the first one, and I have to tell you, he is asking me to use the name Joe. I don't even think I could pronounce his name. But at any rate, you said something very interesting here. I'm impressed that when you request your father or your cousin to visit you, that they come. That's a lot of people would love to know and be able to do that. Um, my best information that I could give you, I would say to get hold of your father or one of your cousins. As you must know by now, you can talk to them in your dream. Ask them if your mom is crossed over. Ask them if they can't help her cross over. Your belief system, of course, is, unique to your religion, and so it's different than a lot of other folks, but that doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's what your country does. So I would call on your father and your cousins to see if they can't help her cross over if she is not there. And again, your father could tell you if she is there or not. This one is from ISabelle. My husband and I bought a house. This house is rather new. It's only about 30 years old. We have felt and seen strange things in our basement. For instance, a shadow of a man wearing a large hat in one of the rooms in the basement. Strange noises of people talking and walking. The garage door going up and down, hearing water running. My husband works at night. I have been asleep and felt the weight of someone sitting on the bed or trying to take the blankets off me. Also in the basement, you feel that you are not alone and that someone is watching you. We do have the Bible sitting on the coffee table in the living room. I have also put holy water around the house. I feel like someone is trying to reach me, and I'm very interested in having this person leave. What should I do? Well, you are in Ohio, so that's one step up. First of all, knock it off with the holy water. Do not spread holy water around. All you're making him, and I'm going to assume it's a male, very angry. So do not use holy water. Have the priest come in, the minister come in, bless the house, let them throw around all the holy water they want. Just don't you throw the holy water around. And you can smudge, of course. Everything that you mentioned can absolutely happen. I would be a little more concerned, though, about the man in the bedroom. That is not acceptable. I would seriously, normally I tell people to smudge every 12 to 14 days, which I would say do the whole house 12 to 14 days, but do your bedroom once a week. You do not want this man in your bedroom. And if you do this and it's acceptable, terrific. If it's not, call me before the weather gets mad and snow starts flying, because I don't know exactly where you live in Ohio. So, but I would definitely, I wouldn't want the man in my bedroom. So I would definitely do something. Okay. This one is from Corey. This one is from Ohio too. I go through a ton of sage. My newest question is, apparently Corey's written before. I recently had a fire under my gas fireplace. When the firemen were ripping up the floor, they discovered that there had been a previous fire there that we were never aware of. The previous owners or before had apparently succeeded in hiding it from us. They had the area all painted and covered over with wood. Do you think the guy in the basement has something to do with the original fire and was hanging around because he was guilty? Or did he have something to do with the recent fire? Corey, I would have no way of knowing if he did or didn't have anything to do with the fire. Again, he couldn't throw a match and light it, but you didn't say what the fire department said caused the fire. That would have given me a clue if it was something that he did or not. You're in Ohio. If you want him to leave and you don't want to smudge and you don't want to have the priest come in, then definitely, give me a call and we'll see what we can set up. I have yet to run across an earthbound spirit that feels too guilty about anything. Keep in mind, they have the same personality that they had when they were alive. So if they did, nasty things when they were alive, they obviously weren't guilty about it. So they're still not going to be guilty now. And you said you go through a ton of sage. Hopefully you're saging correctly every inch of the house, inside every closet. Because the one place you do not get the sage is where he's going to be hiding. Okay, I am going to let you know. First of all, we are still in the Mercury retrograde. That won't be up until November 4th. And the second full moon is coming up on Halloween, the blue moon. So again, any ghosts or earthbound spirits that you have in the house have a lot of energy because of these two full moons. Halloween is coming up, and this coming Saturday on the 24th thanks hon, on the 24th I will be at the Goddess Elite from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. I will have all my products there. I will send any books that you bring. Social distancing, masks, is going to be very strict, so be aware of that. And for people that are local, on WDOK on Thursday, October 29th, I will be on at 8 o'clock in the morning taking phone calls. On Friday, the 30th, I will be on Channel 3, the early morning show live, and at noon, I will be, I did a house, and it's been taped, and they're going to show that. The next Zoom is on November 20th at 7:30 p.m., and that is, I believe, the Friday before Thanksgiving. And next week we're going to do regular questions because I have a bunch of them. And I would like you to start writing in if you've had any trouble with earthbound spirits over the holidays in the past years, Thanksgiving or Christmas. And I'm sure with the Christmas it's more than just the lights or a string of lights constantly going off on the tree. So send those in. Those could be pretty those could be pretty interesting with the holidays coming up. So I will talk to you all next Wednesday, and have a great week. Thanks.